Hey guys, we lived on the top of a very magical mountain in a very magical place in Humboldt County, and we lived about an hour from town in every direction. Late one afternoon, I was going to go to my brother's about a mile and a half away to play some games and chill for a couple hours. I was going to be home before dark. My family was at home, so I was going to try to get there as soon as I could. But it's my brother. We didn't hang out much. Didn't hang out much, so I wanted to go spend some time with him. I went over there, and next thing I knew, it was dark. I'd take off getting home. I'm like, oh man, I'm late. My girl's gonna be mad. All this stuff. So I start walking home. I get about halfway home, and my phone dies. So now I don't have a flashlight. And it is a 10 out of 10 on the darkness scale. It is dark. It's so dark you can't see your hand in front of your face. And it's sprinkling a little bit. It's fall, so it's not warm, outside. It's a little bit cold. And there I was trying to feel my way around through the trail with my hands and feet. And on my left is a very steep hill up, and it's full of, it's thick forest and steep rocks. And on my right is the opposite. I'm basically on a road in the middle of this hill, and it's a steep drop off down into the forest. And it's about a 40-foot fall if I was to step off the edge. Very unfriendly 40-foot fall. And there I am, feeling my way around in the dark, cold, and wet, when something loud and big starts crashing around right up here above me on the rocks. It's making rocks fall. It's loud. I don't know what it was, but it's moving around, and it's making tree branches fall. It sounded like maybe it was up in a tree, and it started coming down, and was thinking about making its way down the hill is what it sounded like. And so I just dropped down on my hands and knees and started trying to feel my way away from. I was a couple feet away from this ledge. You know what I mean? I was just knew at any moment I was going to step off this ledge. And then this thing's being real loud up here, crashing around. I don't know. It could be a tree that fell. It could be a mountain lion. It could be a bear. It could be anything. I don't know what it is, but it sounds like it's getting closer. And it sounds like it might be moving on purpose. Like maybe it's some sort of animal. And I'm trying to feel my way away from this cliff and be quiet. And there in the middle of the path was a tiny glowworm. Teeny tiny green glow coming from the ground, just underneath a leaf, protected from the rain. And I crawled over to it. I've never seen a glowworm before in my life. In real life, I knew what they were, of course, but I'd never encountered one. And as I got over there to find it, there was another one, a little farther away. I climbed over there, crawled over there, and I got that one. Now I have two, and I'm trying to protect them like this, keep them dry from the rain, and I can almost see the inside of my hands. They're glowing so bright. And then I start looking around, and there's another one. Now I've got three, and they're glowing bright enough to where I can do like this, and I can kind of see the path. So I stood back up like this for the first time, and I'm walking around like this. And slowly but surely, I got farther and farther away from that thing that was up the hill from me, that I thought was coming down to get me. And slowly but surely, I was able to make my way back to my campsite, almost a mile away with these 3 teeny tiny little glowworms that happened to save me. And I know it's like, oh, you were just in the dark, you know what I mean? But it's just like with a cliff on one side and this thing coming down the hill on the other side, pitch black. I'm talking about, I didn't have a lighter or nothing to use as a light. And it was the first time in a long time I felt like I might be in some kind of danger, you know? And then I didn't have a pocket knife. I didn't have my dogs. I was just out there, too far from my brother's house to turn around and holler for anybody, too far from my house to holler for anybody there. And what would they have done anyway? You know what I mean? What would they have done if I did holler for them? So there in the cold night, as what seemed like a nature spirit of some kind was tearing its way down the hill, another gentle nature spirit was like, you need to go. Here you go. You need to get the fuck out of here. And literally, the glowworms, like as I got them, they were leading me in the direction home. You know what I mean? It's like, I've never seen another one. I've not seen one since that night. I've never seen one before. So, I don't know. Was it a bear? What do you think? Was it a nature spirit? Did I just get lucky and find the only 3 glowworms on the whole mountain? Pretty interesting.